Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, so some news coming out today has been about changes in the real estate market. That people are fleeing the metropolitan areas, uh, which is causing high-end condos and housing in metropolitan areas to plummet in value by 40, 50%, and they're seeking out housing in urban areas instead. Well, first of all, yeah, don't get all in an uproar or think that this is such a great sign. Um, the people that are truly ultra wealthy, I've already said they've got their private islands and what have you in other countries to flee uh, in the pandemic, the riots, you know, their own downfall. But this is mostly happening in pretty select areas, mostly around New York, uh, around New York City, and the surrounding areas, and maybe some places in California. But for the most part, it's pretty limited. This is not a nationwide trend. Even if it were a nationwide trend, the only people that are really going to be going out and trying to buy urban properties, you know, eh, these are people that are truly financially stable. We're not talking about people in the what is now considered middle class, the $100,000 to $250,000 a year income range. Most of those people, literally, they're they make their cost of living so high that they actually consider themselves living paycheck to paycheck. So we're talking people that have millions in or more in the bank that they can rely on. It's not going to be the people, they're talking about all this because so many people can work from home. Well, this is pretty reliant on a number of things. First of all, the stability of your job. And a lot of jobs that were once considered highly stable are no longer considered stable. They're being eliminated. Some companies in, the California Silicon Valley have actually told their employees that if they move further away to live in a less expensive location, that the company will actually reduce their wages. So, you know, there there's a there's a motivator. Now, if you want to live out in an urban area, you also have the problem with the availability of high speed internet, which most work from home jobs require. It is mandatory. If you're a stock trader and you don't have high speed internet, you're not a stock trader anymore. Yeah, you're going to lose a fortune. Uh, so, you know, all these, if you're a programmer, you got to have high speed internet, uh, to coordinate and upload your programs and so forth, because you don't want it to take 2 days for your program to upload on dial up. So, when you live out in the country, you know, the further out you go, the harder it is to get high-speed internet. You can talk about satellite, but if you look at the truth about so much satellite, internet, yeah, it's not so high speed. And it's reliant on having a dedicated phone line that connects to that system. And you're not getting 100 megabytes, 2 gigabytes, whatever high kind of internet speed. So no matter what, the number of people that can afford to do this, is limited. Other people that have money in savings and so forth and think about moving out, well, the further out you go, the fewer the jobs that are available, the fewer attractions, entertainment, etc., that are available. And I expect, after the pandemic to be over, that a lot of these people that decide they're going to move out into the boonies are going to move right back to the metropolitan areas again, because they're addicted to that lifestyle. They're going to find out very quickly that if they try to live in rural areas, it's just not for them. You don't have the big social events and so forth. And if they build, buy and build in, concentrated areas, maybe that, where they have their own little encampments and whatever, well, it's still not going to be something that's going to become a trend over years. In a lot of cases, those encampments already exist. And they're not going to be building a whole bunch of these areas where a lot of people are living close together, because if they're trying to flee from the pandemic, well, now you just built another area where, it can be imported from, other wealthy people or, service workers, delivery drivers, etc. Yeah, so they're not going to, this is not something to be paying a lot of attention to. New home sales, new home starts are down drastically. Multi-home dwellings are on the rise. Multi-home, multi-dwelling houses, apartments, those are on the rise for building, but single-family dwellings starts are down tremendously, like about 40%, and a lot of cases people have actually started to buy a house or started a contract to build a house and then canceled it right in the last few months. So to think that people are just going to be moving out in droves into urban areas, the ability of many people to do this is limited. The number of people that will do so and remain is even more limited. So this is not something to think is going to become a major issue. This is going to take place over a very short period of time and then be over. Then we will see more and more foreclosures and so forth. It doesn't matter where it is, whether it's metropolitan, urban, suburban, whatever. This is coming within the next few weeks, 2 months. So if you're listening to the news, even I heard a lot about this on some independent media. You shouldn't be paying all that much attention to it. This is just a bright, shiny object that has grabbed their attention. They're chasing squirrels. There's no reason to believe that this would continue at this point. So anyway, that was all that this one was going to be about. Please share this video, talk about these subjects, and if you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel, and I hope you have a good evening.